Welcome back to the channel, guys. Yesterday, Star Wars Outlaw released its trailer for the video game. It was a little divisive online, so I think we're going to talk about it. Now, if you haven't played games or been on Twitter recently, as far as games are concerned, you may not have noticed that gaming has become pretty divisive lately, especially when it comes to how gaming companies and devs portray certain characters in games. They do a really good job on one hand, and they do a piss poor job on the other. And that's really been reignited, especially when Stellar Blade came out. There was a Fable trailer that came out a while back. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, they did a really good job with it, so they're being used as a comparison. But Star Wars Outlaw didn't really do that good of a job. It's very similar to Horizon Forbidden West. But before we get into all that topic, let's look at the trailer. Just so I can hear the trailer.
Each of you represents some of the most powerful criminal organizations in the galaxy. Pikes, Crimson Dawn, Hutts. It's a golden age for the underworld. The Empire controls every corner of the galaxy, but they're distracted by a rebellion that won't quit. It's an opportunity to make
I wonder who that guy is. Like his model.
Hey, Vess. The underworld's favorite new scoundrel. We meet at last.
What do you want?
Zarek Besh. They're new, rich, and lethal. You crossed their boss Sliro, and now he wants you gone. Rob his fortune and buy your freedom.
This job, it's a death wish. I'm in.
Out here, you live and die by your reputation. You want to survive? Know the players.
Didn't expect that voice to come from that thing.
Come back when you're not.
Jabba, right? Look, don't try anything. I got a whole crew surrounding the... Okay, we're skipping that
Oh,
part.
they got a cute
For
creature in
about
this
as long
game.
as I can remember, it's
Seems
just
to be
been me and Nix.
a requirement nowadays.
Doing what we have to survive. This job is my one shot at freedom. But if we're gonna pull this off, we need the right crew. And the right ship. Yes! Hang on.
I hire you because you are one of the best hunters in the Outer Rim.
She's more connected than you let on, Sliro. Vess is mixed up in something bigger.
The Outer Rim is a dangerous place.
That was
Everyone
cool scenery.
is fighting for their piece of the galaxy. But all I want is to live free. So I'm gonna risk it all.
Okay.
Star Wars Outlaws pre-order available now.
All right. So before we get into what I was wanting to talk about, can I just say that the whole monetization of this game, the pre-orders and all that other stuff, it's horrible. That right there is, that alone would be enough for me not to buy the game. There's just no way. But to be honest with you, the game just doesn't interest me. Okay. To me, it's not really Star Wars if it doesn't have Jedi, Sith, and lightsaber battles and stuff. It doesn't interest me. I know I'm not alone in it, but I also know that there's people who disagree with that, which is fine. They'll buy this game. Hopefully they enjoy it. It doesn't appeal to me. I'm sorry. So there's the trailer. Now that came out, and there's parts of it, like I said, where she's very much like Aloy, I think it is, from Horizon Forbidden West, where at times she looks okay, like right here. There's other times where she looks horrible. Now, some of that in this trailer is going to be whether the video, I guess, is pre-rendered or if it's actually in game, because that does have some difference as far as how well they're going to look. But part of my issue with her, as far as her character, is she doesn't look anything like her model. Not to me. Now, I'm not an expert at comparing two things and saying, oh, they're the same person, but she just doesn't look that way. Doesn't look like the model. And here, let me show you an example with Cal Kestis and his model. I think his name was Cameron from Star Wars Jedi Survivor and Star Wars Fallen Order. Right? So look at this one. Now people are saying it's not that bad, or she looks fine. But when you see her model, and I'll show it to you in a second, and compare it to the way she looks in game, to me, I don't think it looks like her at all. Now you look at this, they're twins. It's the same picture. You could clearly look at the video game character on the left and see the real life person on the right. They did a really good job of creating his face in that game. And I played both games, and I thought they were really well done. Now, this is her model versus in-game character. I just don't think she looks anything like the in-game person. I really don't. On the left, she's a beautiful woman. On the right, she's not. Now, granted, like I said, some of how this lady on the right is going to appear is based solely on what's a pre-rendered video, or whether it's kind of like a small in-game cutscene that's not really pre-rendered. That does make a difference. But to me, I just don't think she looks that good. I really don't. I think they did a very piss poor job of taking her face and putting it in game. And this isn't the first time that they've had this issue. A lot of times it seems like male characters, as we just saw with Cal Kestis for the other Star Wars game, they do a good job. But when it comes to women, it's like they go out of their way. They get beautiful face models, but they go out of their way to downgrade the face model in the game. To me, it's insulting to the face models. If I was a beautiful woman like this lady on the left, they'd have to be paying me a shit ton of money to do this, because to me, it would be an insult. I wouldn't want to do it. Just makes no sense. I do think they have actually went backwards in how they portray women in video games. Not through actions as far as what the women do. I mean, I do think they try to, in their minds, a lot of these devs' minds, a woman can't be a strong female character in a game unless she essentially does everything a man does, because, women have to be exactly like a guy. Because if she can't be, then there's something wrong with her, right? That's how they portray these women, and I think it's very insulting to women. My wife is stronger than I am. Now, I can do things she can't, but I will never sit here and say that I'm stronger than she is. Maybe physically, but she's definitely a stronger person than I am. She puts up and deals with stuff that I could never deal with. All right, let's look at this tweet here. The disturbing Californian Innsmouth look monstrosities that the modern entertainment is creating can be best highlighted in comparison to the products they used to have 10 years ago. Now look at this. Now this is not like a pre-rendered cutscene right here. This is in game. You can tell it's in game. Look at how this woman looks. Look how she looks. Now this may not be a 100% fair comparison, because they probably cut it right at the. I mean, you can take anybody's picture, even a beautiful woman, and you stop it or freeze frame it at the right moment. It's not going to be pretty. It won't be flattering, right? But they just continue to do this with women, and I don't understand it. You've seen this with Fable. I mean, there's hundreds of recent examples where they do this, and I can't get over why. I can't understand why they do this at all. I can't. It makes no sense to me whatsoever why they do what they do. But I just wish these Western game devs would stop uglifying women. They don't have to make them supermodels. Just stop making them ugly. Or perhaps maybe it's their systems they have in place. Whatever they're doing, it's not working. Not for me. It's just not. That's all I had today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I kind of ramble on some of the things. I don't script this stuff out. I just kind of talk. And if you guys like what you hear, like what you see, please don't forget to subscribe down below, and I will talk to you guys later.